So do you mean to tell me that burning down businesses, tearing up our communities, tearing down monuments, burning the American flag, and then taking a knee at a baseball or basketball game and snubbing your nose at the country that gives you the affordability to make millions while doing that very thing, and you wonder why people in this country, the average American sports fan, is not endeared to your cause?
I'm shocked.
Hello, my name is Kyle and welcome to the channel, and this is The Conservative Take. If you're looking for content based on culture, TV, and movies filtered right to you, then this is the right spot. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. And please, if you want to support the channel, please check out walkedaway.net and make it known when you walked away. So, well, it looks like the ratings didn't do too well for the Major League Baseball kickoff, nor for the NBA opening tip-off of the 2020 season. And is it any surprise whatsoever that this happened? I don't think so. And so here's the ratings here. This article is from Breitbart. I'm gonna show you another one as well, but this one says ratings crash for NBA, MLB after protest fill debut. And here we have it says, as the NBA and MLB returned from their coronavirus imposed hiatus, it appears TV viewers are not interested in what the interestingly woke leagues have to offer. Now, why is that shocking? It's not shocking. I mean, people are fed up to here with all of this woke agenda, and it's so disingenuous. I think if people actually thought that people really meant what they were saying when they say what they're saying, that maybe people would actually tune in and say, okay, I'll come on board with you. But what people are seeing is hypocrisy across the board. I mean, we're looking at narratives that say that white cops are hunting down blacks in the street and the numbers don't add up. But we can look at Chicago, East St. Louis, Baltimore, all over this country in our inner cities, and nobody is saying anything about it. So here it says, with both baseball and basketball draped in all sorts of Black Lives Matter and social justice symbolism for their opening games, a substantially smaller number of fans tuned in to the rest of the week's games. According to Outkick.com, neither league did well. As for the opening games, Outkick reported that the return of the NBA on TNT saw the following numbers. The Lakers and Clippers got 3.4 million. The Pelican Jazz got 2.1 million. ESPN's Major League Baseball numbers were also underwhelming. And the Nationals game, the Yankees, I was a Nationals fan at one point, 4 million. Dodgers and Giants, 2.8 million. And so we're seeing numbers drop off. He says that MLB really fell off after opening day. In general, both leagues aren't getting the audience one might expect from a nation that's been deprived of entertainment for months. And that's really the thing. Okay, we've been out of sports for a long time. And I know I was looking for anything during the lockdown. Anything. If I saw a Parcheesi tournament out in Wyoming, I'm dialed in. I'm looking at YouTube for wiffle ball tournaments, which actually is pretty cool. I can leave some links to these guys. They're doing an awesome job. These young guys. Wiffle ball is an amazing sport that I might keep watching. But the point being, I personally have been pent up for sports for a long time, even though I've kicked my Redskins to the curb for obviously what they've done. And the Nationals, all this stuff, it just makes it very difficult. And so me as a Washington sports fan who was having a really good year this past few years, with the Caps and the Nationals and the Mystics, and yes, I said Mystics, they won a championship. These teams were winning. And for the first time in my life in a long time, all the sports teams were doing well. But even me as a Washington fan, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I refuse to do it. And so if I'm just one person who's been itching for this kind of stuff and was looking at stuff like Parcheesi and wiffle ball, then I'm sure I am not the only one. He says here also that for good measure, you can't blame the coronavirus because it didn't stop people from watching Tom Brady play golf with Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson back in May. So it's interesting how people want to see what they want to see, but they're not going to sit by and be insulted by a culture that is snubbing their noses at a country that is providing everything for them, that's giving them an affordable lifestyle, giving them an enriched lifestyle, and moreover, taking a lie, false narrative to do it. And to me, I think, it's really insulting because I read this stuff, I look at it, and I see it for what it is. It is a misnomer, it is a red herring, it is a farce in many cases. And I say this, hear me out here really, really clearly. Show me the racism and I'll be the first person standing next to you, locked in arms, shouting it down, protesting that, condemning it. But what we're having now is a situation is we're seeing false flags, manipulation by groups of people who are co-opting a movement for their own radical agenda. They are burning Bibles now. Black Lives Matter and Antifa are burning Bibles. They're burning crosses. They're burning American flags. But I'll do a video on that. But let's take a look at another article here. This is from The Spectator. And this is the NBA gets low ratings on its return. Now, the author here says something very interesting. I'm going to read it right here for you. He says, I know why I didn't tune in and won't do it all during the remainder of this season. It isn't so much China and the kneeling. It's more the expectation that the NBA isn't going to settle for a nod to BLM before at the start of the games, but instead will subject us to propaganda throughout the proceedings. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I think, like I said in the beginning, if people felt that this was genuine, that there was a reasonable narrative to talk about, if they were talking about black on black crime, if they were talking about the disproportion of abortions in the black community, fatherlessness, all these issues that are going into the black community, like illiteracy, then people would say, hey, you know what? This is a worthy cause. But I think people see right through this. They see the burning of the flags. They see the burning of the Bibles. Well, they may have not seen that yet. That's out there now. They've seen the taking down of monuments. They've seen the taking down of monuments of abolitionists, people who spent their entire lives to free slaves. But they're racist. Get them out of here. Ridiculous. People see the hypocrisy and they don't want to stand for it. People are sick of this. They're sick of this. Okay. Now, at the bottom here, he says something about here. He says, Strauss finds it significant that The Last Dance, that's the Michael Jordan documentary that came out on Netflix, essentially a soap opera about Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, drew a shade under 6 million viewers, but the actual live NBA opener reaped a little over 2 million viewers. That is 3 times fewer viewers. And it just so happened that I just finished watching the entire 10 episodes of The Last Dance. I may do a video on that, but I want to talk about that in context of this video because I watched the Jordan Bulls do their thing back in the 90s, and I was a Bullets fan, Wizards fan, so I didn't really have a dog in the game. However, I was pulling for them because they were awesome to watch. Watching the behind the scenes of that happening was really cool. There's a portion in there where they get on him about not supporting Harvey Gantt, who was a black man running for senator in North Carolina against the incumbent Jesse Helms. And Obama was in there stating him being upset by Jordan not taking a stand because Jordan said, you know what? Hey, Republicans buy sneakers too. Jordan didn't fall into the trap of being woke at that time in his life because he was looking out for himself, his family, his career, and everything that would come with that. And so I respect him for doing that. And I respect anyone for doing what they're doing when the stand actually means something. Jordan said, I don't know who Harvey Gantt is. I'm not going to cop for him when I don't know who he is. And so, I mean, that is something that is different between then and now. You can't expect everybody to be a Muhammad Ali. And they want every black person who's in this kind of thing to use that celebrity for their cause. Not their cause, but their cause. But because you have the same skin color, we're in the same boat. We have to be the same thing. And that's unfair to Jordan. It's unfair to people like Tiger Woods. It's unfair to many, many black athletes out there who just want to live their lives and support people the way they want to support them. That's how it should be. And forcing wokeness on people this virtue signaling, this is such a dehumanizing thing here. It's very dehumanizing when you force someone to tell them you have to think a certain way because your skin is darker than that person over there. It's ridiculous. So what are your thoughts? Do you think the NBA and Major League Baseball are going to continue this downward spiral? Or do you think they'll bounce back? Do you think the American sports fan will eventually say, you know what? We can deal with this and we can suck it up and we'll watch these games? Or what do you think about my comments about Michael Jordan? And do you think I should do a review on The Last Dance as well? And so if you're looking for content of culture, TV, and movies filtered to you the right way, then please click the like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. And please share with your friends because we're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. And lastly, if you want to support this channel, please go to walkedaway.net and make it known when you walked away. And with that, please check out some content that we have right here.